This broadcast is brought to you by Colby Brooks with Century 21 Right Pace Real Estate and buyfrombrooks.com. Let Colby Brooks handle all of your real estate needs. Let's take a quick look at some headlines, including window-smashing vandals in Jonesboro. Several businesses now having reports of problems with this. We'll tell you what the reports have in common. Also, a man with a firearms charge, 15 years in federal prison over this, but he's got a history. We'll tell you about this case coming up. And a severe weather outlook over the next 24 hours. We'll tell you what it looks like as far as where we will see more severe activity and what we're expecting to see. That's all coming up next on NEA Report.
Stan Morris reporting.
If you followed the story we posted a few days ago, two different plumbing businesses were targeted by criminals, one of which was a theft case, the other of which was vandalism at Mid-South Plumbing, in which two windows were busted out, two rocks thrown through them, and police didn't have any leads on that case. Well, we don't know if this one's related or not, but we've heard of another case of vandalism in which a business has had windows busted out. This report was taken yesterday morning. PCS On Call made the report, the 800 block of East Matthews Avenue. The front window was damaged. We're talking about $2,000 worth of damages done just in this. It's felony criminal mischief, second degree. And that's just this one particular charge. If this is the same person that did this to the other businesses, they can have multiple charges as well. But we don't know that police have any suspects yet. Of course, businesses getting hit by this stuff, they may have insurance, but they still got a deductible, right? And plus, it's a major inconvenience for them. If you could help out these businesses to at least perhaps stop this from happening to another one, 870-935-5657. Talk to a desk sergeant. Tell them what you know. You can remain anonymous if you want. So a man that was arrested in Jonesboro is going to spend 15 years in prison on a firearms charge that was actually prosecuted by the federal attorney, the U.S. District Attorney for the Eastern District. We're talking about Cody Highland there. Raymond Trice, he's a 43-year-old Jonesboro man, multi-convicted felon, will spend 180 months in federal prison, according to this press release. On December 18th, 2017, a Jonesboro officer saw Trice peering into windows of parked cars in the early morning hours. This is all according to the release. He fled when police tried to question him, but later police found a revolver along the route where he fled. He admitted he had previous convictions for multiple offenses, including battery, aggravated assault, robbery, burglary, possession of cocaine. Judge Marshall also sentenced Trice to 4 years of supervised release following his 15-year prison sentence today. This case was actually prosecuted as part of the Project Guardian initiative by the Department of Justice that was started in 2019 in the fall. Attorney General there, William Barr, going a little bit harder on individuals, especially for gun violence or things of that nature with federal crimes. If you'd like more information on that, you could visit the Justice Department's website, justice.gov/Project Guardian. You can also go to neareport.com. We've got it all linked up there. 3 new Sky Cops were installed today in the city of Jonesboro. That brings the total now to 6 across the city. The 3 that were installed today were at the entrance of Craighead Forest Park, on West Nettleton Avenue near Flint, and Parker Park Community Center. You can see one of the bucket trucks from CWL assisting to install the Sky Cop camera system today. As we mentioned, 6 total now, and that includes Cedar Heights and Melrose, Cedar Heights and Belt, and also Race at Fairview. The first Sky Cop was deployed on October 30th, and there are plans to deploy at least 6 more because the city's purchased a total of 12. But it's possible we'll have even more than that, as there has been some interest expressed by individuals to purchase them. They're not cheap either. They cost between $5,000 for a more basic unit, upwards of over $10,000 for units like one of the ones at Cedar Heights, which can actually detect gunfire. Tonight's top story on NEAReport.com, at least, is about the murder suspect from the Haven Hotel shooting that later became a murder after the New Year's night incident. in which Taquan Wilson was shot multiple times and killed. Also shot that evening, at least according to police, was LaQuinton Lauderdale, and he remained active on Facebook even after being shot, but not long after he learned, at least, or we think he learned, when the victim died. For at least 2 days after the shooting, he was on Facebook. As late as Friday afternoon, 2 a.m., of course, we're talking about January 3rd, 2 days after the incident. That was his last post. He asked who was awake. Not really much to talk about there, but it was later in the day that JPD announced that the victim, Taquan Wilson, had passed away. And we think police announced that sometime after it had taken place, since social media posts, at least that night or the night before, indicated that he had. But Lauderdale, the suspect, had been making some pretty bold posts on social media at least after the shooting, including one about betting against him and how you're going to lose if you do that, including the photo there. Even after the incident, about 12 hours or so after midnight, he made a post about having a long night. This was January 1st, around noon. Then around 5:40, he asked, or rather made a post about showing up tonight or calling in, saying he's got to work in the morning. Not sure what that means, but it included several laughing emojis. Not a lot of people liking his posts around that time, by the way. It was several days back now. We're talking about actually before the shooting took place. December 31st, about 9 p.m., he made a post about hearing people say that they were going to take him out, but he said he's still here. He also made some other posts about partying that night. He even said something about a little bit of drinking that night. He even shared somebody else's quote about shooting a gun that night or shooting back at people. It wasn't one he said, but he made a comment with it. You can see it there. There's a photo of the suspect. That, I believe, is taken at... We know it's in Jonesboro because there's a Jonesboro Sun newspaper box back there, but I believe that's at the Race Street Market. And that is the suspect, LaQuinton Lauderdale, still wanted as of this hour with a substantial award offered for information leading to his arrest. And if you can help Jonesboro Police Department, we would ask that you do that. 870-935-STOP or 935-5657 to talk to the desk sergeant in the case. Lauderdale may have an injury to one of his hands. Not totally sure about that, but a felony warrant has been signed by a judge for his arrest, and it's for murder. You can contact JPD anonymously. You can also contact them on Facebook if you want. Well, this weekend there'll be a chance for severe weather, specifically Friday night into early Saturday. Thankfully, Northeast Arkansas appears to be on the end of a more slight risk category right now, with the most risky area appearing to be Southwest Arkansas. But we will be watching this stuff this weekend. We'll let you know if anything big pops up. We'll break in and do live coverage. So, biggest concern right now, according to the Weather Service, is wind damage. There is a smaller concern for tornadoes and even a lesser concern than that for large hail. But here's what's strange. We're looking at a high tomorrow in the upper 60s. And then imagine this. By the time the weekend is over, we could see snowfall in Arkansas. That's crazy. So the highest chance for severe weather, as I mentioned, going to be overnight Friday. Weather Service meteorologists are suggesting you want to make sure you have a way to receive alerts in the middle of the night. Right? Cell phone alerts are out there. They'll generate a loud alert if a tornado or flash flood warning goes into effect. But if you've ever opted out of alerts at any point, you got to go in and turn those back on. So it's still very important. Sirens are out there as well, of course, in Jonesboro, many other communities around here, and those are very useful. So listen for those. But it's going to be a very rainy night and a rainy weekend, too. But with the temperatures going up tomorrow, a little bit of volatility is going to come with that. So we'll keep our eyes on things. We'll let you know if severe weather gets too crazy or if tornado alerts break out in Northeast Arkansas. We'll do coverage on NEA Report. Thanks for joining us on the show. We'll be back with more news from Northeast Arkansas as news breaks out. That's when NEA Report goes live. Be sure to follow us for live updates. And thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing to NEA Report. Become a supporter for 99 cents. That gets you even more news from Northeast Arkansas. I'm Stan Morris, and you're up to date from NEA Report.